How's it going?
Rex Allen Creative.
Yeah.
We're going to go check all the streams and see if we're actually live, because we just kind of never really know.
No, it's always a little bit questionable. Hey, look, yeah, it's live on my screen right here.
Okay. Live there. It looks like we're live here too.
Yep.
On Twitch.
Got all the
And
streams.
Facebook. Facebook hasn't shown me anything yet. Facebook's always the culprit that never seems to work.
Yeah.
And there's no even reason for Facebook to not like Rex Allen Creative. I'm not even talking about GUNS.
I know, right? The 3-letter G word. That's not God.
That other one.
The other one.
Okay, so I'm showing up live there, but I'm not showing live here.
That's on.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, that's right. You said to refresh. You're good.
Okay, so no sound there. Yeah, so it looks like OBS is only giving us 720.
Okay.
Through the Streamlabs, so whatever.
That's good to know, though.
High def. I wonder if you pay for the extra.
Pay the extra.
If they'll give you 1080. We should look into that.
That's probably right.
Anyway, this is kind of fun where we can talk about all this stuff, and in theory, the people that are here watching us.
Hey, Jared's still bored and doesn't have a baby yet. What's up, Jared?
Good to have you here, buddy. Hey, says it looks good. So, on Joel's stream, you were getting 1080p, and for whatever reason, Restream is only giving us 720. So it's good to know that it still looks good.
Greg,
even though you're not getting quite as much. Okay, A7S3. So I've had a lot of camera news.
Yeah.
In the last little bit. So
he tried to give me a lens for free.
Yeah, and he said no.
I said no.
Knoyer actually might want it. He's got a Nikon.
He might.
Yeah. Okay,
he's
so
probably already got it.
This thing right here is
a dongle.
Is the guy that did it all. So this is the Condor Blue P-tap, D-tap, whatever you want to call it. It's supposed to have a power regulator in the battery. That does not let extra power get into the camera, right?
Yep.
So when my A7S3 bit the dust, I didn't know who to contact, right? So I obviously contacted Condor Blue to see if they had heard of that happening or anything.
Yep.
And I got a quick reply back from them, which was nice. And it just said, "Oh, that stinks, man. I've never heard of that." And that was it. That's the only thing they responded back to me. They were like, "Did you try putting the regular battery back in it?" Even though in my initial thing I said I tried putting the regular battery back in and it still wouldn't work. So pretty much was very unhappy with Condor Blue. Like very unhappy. So I went through the warranty process with Sony. And they're like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Sounds fine. Process seemed pretty easy. Shipped it off to Precision Camera Repair or something, whoever Sony contracts with to be their OEM service provider. And it got there last Friday. I got an email that says they received it, and it had a log of all the stuff that was like with the camera, because like a dingle nut, I forgot to pull my memory cards out.
Oh, no.
So I sent $400 worth of memory cards to them.
Yeah.
But they logged it, so I'm, fingers crossed that I'll get those back. So that's good. So, still no word there for sure. But I think it'll all get taken care of.
Sure hope so. It's not like this is a junk company or anything. Like, they make quality gear.
Yeah. So everything. So I started off with kind of the Tilta electronic stuff. I've just had so many problems with this whole gold mount battery system. It's ridiculous. Like, got the gold mounts, and my Tilta thing came in, and there's like 2 male plugs that go on the gold mount connector that are like on the base. And I put the battery on, and it felt like it fit fine. And I pull it off, and like there's these extra kind of spring pieces on the plugs to like help them get good contact.
Yep.
And when I pulled my battery off after the first installation, it like ripped them all off. I was like, come on.
Yeah,
so that was problem number 1, right? So return that to BH Photo, like whatever. That was fine.
Yeah.
And then I went on like a search for like the high end plate that I could get that like wouldn't give me problems.
Yep.
And I was really surprised that the Tilta one failed because it's an actual Anton Bauer branded like gold mount adapter piece that goes on their plate.
Yeah.
So like it was an actual Anton Bauer, which is like the high-end gold mount stuff. It was an actual Anton Bauer part that failed. So either that was like a huge fluke, or Tilta, Chinese company, is like molding fake Anton Bauer labeled stuff. So don't know, but like one installation, my Anton Bauer plate bit the crap. Yeah. So that wasn't cool. So returned that, kind of went on a search for plates, and it's like, turns out that like V mount is like way more popular. I didn't know that when I started out, so the reason I went gold mount is because when I bought my 300D Mark II aperture light, which is what we're using for our key light tonight, it was like, do you want the V mount or the gold mount? And I was like, what's that? Right. So I did a little bit of research, and it seemed like the internet said that gold mount was more popular with like professional cinematographers because it's like an actual locking like mechanism that like it's side mount and it like locks your battery on. So I was like, okay, that sounds good. And that's what I went with. Yeah. So when I decided to actually like get the batteries and like do the whole rig, I went gold mount. Well, I mean, it turns out that like there's just not a lot of great solutions for all these gold mount accessories. The Tilta plate seemed like it was going to work awesome with the Anton Bauer everything. One of the things that it doesn't have is it doesn't rotate. So it was only down. So it just like made my rig really long, and I couldn't fold the battery up, and I was just like, this is kind of dumb. So that led me to get the Condor Blue plate, and then, the Condor Blue battery. And it seemed like everybody that I talked to was like, yeah, Condor Blue stuff is really awesome. I really like their electronics and blah, blah, blah. Their cords are awesome. Lifetime warranty. Sweet, So I'm all excited to do it, plug it in, get everything good to go. Worked good for a day, and then day 2, don't know what was going on, but all of a sudden my camera started doing like really weird things. The screen like went blank. I was like, whoa, like unplugged everything, stuck a normal battery in there, didn't come on a couple times. I was like, oh, what's happening? Stuck the battery back in, let it, pulled the battery out, let it sit for a while, put the battery back in, and like it came back on. I was like, oh, cool. Okay. Let's try again. Because I don't know, that's probably dumb. Let's try again with the rig thing. So I plug it all in again. It does the weird power thing again. The screen goes purple, and then like kaput. Like couldn't get it to turn on again. So tried this battery dongle, I have like 6 different Sony branded batteries. None of them could get it to turn on. So sucker bit the dust.
And that's not what
in some relation to this thing. I don't really know what it is. So Sony actually doesn't, we call this a dummy battery, right? Because this part actually replaces your actual factory battery in the slot, right? Yep. So Sony actually doesn't make a dummy battery that fits the A7S III. I think they want you to use their little USB-C plug instead. That's USB-C into your camera, and then USB, what's the normal one? A? Is USB-A the normal
that
USB?
Might be right.
Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Now, I'm running the rig now on my A7 R3 because it's not fried. And I've just got that my Anton Bauer battery has a normal USB plug in it. So I've got that plugged into the camera. So camera has a normal battery in it, and then it's like charging the battery while you're draining the battery, and it actually drains a little bit faster than it charges. So eventually the camera will die before my big Anton Bauer battery dies, which is lame, which is why I wanted to use this.
Right.
Because this would give you all of the power from your big Anton Bauer battery. So that was a long way of saying that it's broke 5 broke.
And it's not what you want from your $8,000 to $9,000 to $10,000 rig.
I think we're out of focus.
Are we?
I think one of these cups is getting the focus. Let me go check my focus.
Oh, it's mine. Yeah, I can see it. Yeah, it's nice and crisp.
On your...
Oh my gosh.
How long was that?
How long was that? Greg, what the heck, man?
Somebody's got to tell us.
You got to tell us this crap.
Oh, little punched in micro four thirds there.
I don't want to be punched in. No. Oh, that's bad. There we go.
Okay. Go wide. No, not wide. We want zone.
I'll put my drink on the floor. We're switching things up.
Okay. I moved the zone up, so now the whole focus zone is off the table. So.
All right. Well, I still put my...
I was like looking down there, and I was like, I think we're out of focus. I think that cup is in focus. Technology. It's because we don't have the A7S3. We're sitting here running video on a photo camera.
Actually, that's true, isn't it?
Anyway, now we're back. We're in focus.
You are using nice Nikon stuff.
Hey, I got some of my buddies on the Facebook.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Who was it?
So John Grajeda is a guy that I go to church with.
Okay.
And, oh yeah, I can see. Okay. I think that commented. Yep. Sound is gone. Not sure if it's your end or mine.
I'm hearing our sound coming through your computer.
Yeah, our sound is coming from somewhere, Paul, so I don't know. Is anybody else on Facebook not able to hear us? Here, let me go Twitch. Let's go settings. How do I turn the volume? There we go. Okay, so I've got it muted everywhere. So let me unmute Facebook and let's see. I mean, it'll be a little bit of a delay, but we'll see if sound starts coming out of those headphones. I'm hearing something. It's probably you, Paul. I'm not sure.
Jared says they can hear us just fine on YouTube.
Okay. Yeah, so I don't know. Might be a weird Facebook thing.
Okay. Facebook.
Flipping Facebook.
Stinking Zuckerberg. I think I can go pound sand.
Hey, Paul, you can just go watch us on Twitch. You can be the only guy on Twitch that's following us.
There you go.
So anyway, now that we got our focus problem fixed and now we're having sound. I mean, that's probably one of the things you run into when you're doing Restream is, you got 3 platforms to look at comments and blah, blah, blah. Luckily, I've got Joel here sitting here helping me keep up with the comments on YouTube. But trying to monitor comments from 3 different places can get kind of tricky. So
we literally have 4 different things going right now.
And they're all like a different level of delay too.
Yeah,
like they're all,
I've noticed,
like we go like this just to kind of give me a visual of like, let's see which one goes first. So I've got...
There it is.
Okay, yep. Twitch is first.
And then...
Oh, pretty big delay.
Actually,
and then YouTube. And then Facebook.
Facebook last.
Still, yeah, Facebook last. Wow, so there's a pretty good delay on Facebook.
Yeah.
That's probably 20 seconds.
Yeah, that was solid.
Or 30.
Yeah.
So...
Anyway.
Yeah, okay, so what else are we going to talk about today?
I got a new camera.
Another new camera?
Shh. You're supposed to say it quietly.
Another new camera?
Because I could get in trouble.
Uh-oh. He bought another lens that I already knew about.
Yeah, the lens was, that was just what it is. But I bought the A7C.
The little one.
The little one.
You like it?
I do. Because I wanted a second camera that I could have all the same lenses and the same like internal settings, save that it doesn't do 10-bit 422. It doesn't do that. I've got 4K 8-bit.
Okay.
100 megs, 24 frames per second.
Okay.
So it's really close.
So it's a good B cam.
It's a great B cam. And that's what I bought it for. And it was on sale at this camera store that I told you I should never ever take cash with me because Canoria would probably know that store because it's over in St. Louis.
Is it in St. Louis?
Yeah, it's like Sherman's,
Shumways.
You got it, don't you, Greg? Sherman's or anyway.
Surefire?
No, I don't know. It's kind of I would say it's southwest of town. Anyway, it's a nice little camera store, and they have a lot of stuff. Anyway, I went over there, and I was honestly contemplating buying another S3.
That's probably what I would have done, or an FX3. That's what you should have done.
I don't want to go more expensive. I can't afford this hobby as it is. But
Yeah,
the A7C has like almost all the things. You know what I mean? And it's a really tiny little package. And it's nice. Like, it's actually really nice. I was expecting, being half the price of the S3 and all that kind of stuff. I was expecting it to really have some serious limitations, and especially because it's so tiny. And it just doesn't. It's a solid camera.
Is it full frame?
It is. Yep.
That's cool.
For what I do, it's, with the YouTubes.
With the YouTubes.
It's a solid choice. You would not shoot professional.
Like, you wouldn't shoot client.
You wouldn't
client
shoot
work
client work with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You wouldn't do that because it's limited in the you want the 10-bit 422. You want the extra range for color, correction and all that kind of stuff in post. But it's a really solid option. It's stronger in video than it is in photography, even though it's a 24 megapixel still image camera. It takes good images. It doesn't have quite the low light performance. Mm-hmm. The image really starts to fall apart around that 6400 ISO range.
How much do those run normally retail?
I want to say it was $1,400 or $1,600 for the body.
Okay,
something like that. I'll look it up.
Do you think that would have been better than like an A7 III?
Does
it sit better? Is it supposed to be better for video than an A7 III? Or is it just smaller as the draw?
It's smaller, and it's got everything that the A7 III does.
Okay.
In the smaller package. And I looked at a bunch of YouTube videos comparing those two cameras actually. And a lot of guys were saying, yeah, I would absolutely, for the price and everything, I'd go with the A7C over the other one. So
cool.
Anyway, I'm actually really, really pleased with it. B&H says it's $1,800, but I think I got mine for $14.99 or something like that.
Cool.
On sale. It came with a kit lens, of course.
Yeah.
So it's a great little camera, dude. Like, really impressed with it so far. Tiny.
Sweet.
Tiny. But it's cool.
I like it. So
it's my news.
With the whole debacle of my A7S III going down, I kind of had that question of should I get an FX3
Here we go.
Make sure, because like if I'm on a client shoot, right, I take my A7S III, which is like Sony's pretty much flagship. With the FX3, but it's like their flagship mirrorless cinema camera. And then I have an A7R3, which is the high resolution photo camera that still shoots video. It's what we're shooting on now.
Looks great.
If Streamlabs would give us 1080, you'd be seeing it in 1080, but we're only getting 720, whatever. Yeah. It's a good camera, but if I'm on a video specific shoot, I don't have a video specific backup camera or a video specific B cam.
Yeah.
If I was going to have somebody come and shoot, B-roll for me or behind the scenes or something.
Yeah. What if you'd been?
I think I need to get them the same camera that I'm shooting on.
I hear you. That makes sense. What if this whole thing had happened when you were out in Arizona a while ago with Gunfighter Canyon?
Yeah.
Trying to do work, and that happened.
It would have been really bad.
Yeah. It's like, sorry guys, my camera just went down. I don't know what's wrong, but
yeah. So I think, I don't know, say this quiet because
you don't want to get in trouble. Like I didn't want to get in trouble.
Yeah, but my wife's sitting upstairs.
Is she listening to us?
I asked her. I was like, "Were you watching our stream?" She's like, "I got like 1,000 better things to do than watch you guys stream." So at least my parents love me. I'm just kidding. She sees me all the time, so whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm giving it some thought. So if what I am doing as an agency owner, I do graphic design, brand design, photography, videography, filmmaking, whatever you want to call it. If if the video work picks up for me and I start to do a lot more of that, I will probably invest in another, A7S3 or FX3 grade.
Mm-hmm.
But then it's like when you start to think about that, it's like, okay, so do I just do another A7S3, which is like kind of the same capability, or do I change my capability and go FX6 or FX9, with the internal NDs and a big, impressive looking body?
Red weapon.
I know. I want a red.
You're gonna get one. You're gonna get one
at some point.
Just sell that rifle. I mean, we don't have guns. Never mind. Sell that over there. That you're
Twitch can't see him. Your head's blocking.
Okay, good. Sell that, and you'll be able to get your red.
No, but a red's like $20,000.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize they were
and
that
then
expensive.
You can't put Sony lenses on them without an adapter, and I just don't think I'm into that.
That's kind of lame.
So then I'm like,
why is that? What do they expect you to use?
Glass.
Canon stuff?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's like RF mounts, and I don't even know the Canon stuff because I don't Canon. But
you'd have to switch a lot of
like,
things. It's not compatible.
Or duplicate,
then.
So it's like, I think Sony's taken off so much. I mean, you see a lot of professionals switching to the Sony system.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, maybe Red says, you know what? Enough people are using Sony. We're getting a demand. Probably in the future, I bet Red says, okay, we'll make a mount for Sony stuff. And if that happens, then it's like, ooh, maybe.
Yeah.
But I mean, if it's $20,000 or $30,000 for a camera body, plus another probably 10 or 15 to replicate all the prime lenses or cinema lenses, which are even more.
Yeah. Oh,
I mean,
I don't even want to think about all that.
Yeah. So, I mean, if I get a production that, if I get a gig that needs a red, I'll probably rent one.
Yeah.
To try it.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe I'll just do that anyway to just, you and I can play around with one for a couple days and
it'd be fun.
See how much better stuff we can create with a red versus our Sonys.
I can't imagine.
See if anybody can even notice a difference.
I was going to say, I can't. I bet you can't even notice.
Yeah. I mean, other cinematographers might be like, oh, yep, that's a Sony, or oh, yep, that's a red. But for me, it's probably more noticeable in the editing room versus anything. I don't know. I'm going to go respond to Paul and see if it came back.
Cool.
Paul has been, so I know Paul from the medical device industry. He and I worked together at Bard Access Systems. It was like it was my second internship, full-time internship when I was in college. And then it was my first job after college. And he and I worked together there. And I think he's still there. They got bought out by BD Medical. So huge, $23 billion deal.
Wow.
Billion with a B.
Crazy.
But he's still there. He works in kind of customer experience stuff. So kind of marketing, but more focused on the customer and the customer voice and really cool stuff, that a bigger company can, afford to do that kind of marketing. So pretty cool deal there. But I've been making a push this month on LinkedIn to try to put a lot of content up there. Because a lot of my clients are on LinkedIn.
Yep.
And he's kind of been a super fan. So, way appreciate his kind of support on LinkedIn. Nice. Just those little comments and likes and stuff really help out with that algorithm. So pretty cool to have him kind of supporting the efforts because it's all kind of new. So
that's cool. Right on.
New cameras. Old cameras. Yeah, so we briefly mentioned this in the comments when we first started out, but another thing that I think a lot of creatives, I should post on a couple of those filmmaker groups that I'm in, but just talking about equipment insurance.
Yeah.
When you're running a business, I don't want to say this online because if they find it, I might get in trouble, but technically my policy, and when I bought this camera, I was not a professional. It's like I had all my Nikon stuff insured under a personal articles policy, which is like not a business thing. And I had this lens. It's a Nikon 24-70. It's like the best one they make in that range. Pretty beast of a lens. Had it sitting up probably 7 or 8 feet up in the air in the GUN room back there. And I was putting some kind of that military style camouflage netting up on the ceiling. And one of the corners fell off. Pulled this thing right off the deck. 8 feet. Right on it hit a table on the way down and then landed on the concrete.
Oh, ouch.
So it probably won't focus on it, but anyway, it just kind of dinged up some of the elements here on the front. And the zoom wheel kind of got tight. So I got on Nikon's website to, they have like a self-evaluation that you can kind of like say what's wrong with the lens, and then they'll give you like a price to diagnostically figure out what's wrong with the lens, and then you'll get a bill for like how much it will actually cost. And just the diagnostic cost was like $1,100 or something like that, based on the symptoms that the lens was having.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm not going to do that right now. So I just like stuck it. I mean, this happened like 6 months ago. So I just like stuck it in the corner and went on with my merry life. Had Joel bring over his D850 so we could put the lens on both cameras and see if we were getting not good. Pictures were kind of out of focus and fuzzy. Anyway, so I just let it sit. I don't know why I procrastinated so long, but I finally filed a claim with State Farm 2 days ago, filed it online. Next day, I got a phone call from the dude that asked some pretty basic questions. When did it fall down? What happened? Blah, blah, blah. And the next day I got a payment for the full price value that I had, disclaimed when I bought this thing. So, surely insurance costs a little bit of money, but at the end of the day, it's like, it was a pretty effortless claim, and, got paid full value for the lens so I can replace it with a Sony version.
Yeah.
So it was nice to it gives you some peace of mind when you're on a shoot that, certainly like you don't want your gear to go down on a shoot. That doesn't make you look good or anything.
Right.
But knowing that you've kind of got that backing of a commercial policy or a insurance policy is great. And I think a lot of the commercial policies will actually cover, I think, like if your main camera goes down on a shoot or something, I think they actually cover some of your lost revenue while your stuff is out of commission. So
that'd be nice.
For any professional content creators, whether you're a freelancer or agency owner, I think having an insurance policy is like something you just got to do.
Dude, I completely lost a $4,000, not lost, but broke a $4,000 camera a couple years ago.
Right?
Yeah, camcorder, Panasonic camcorder. It was a really nice, high end, had all the XLR inputs, 4K, just all the things, you know what I mean? It had legit IR night vision on the camera. And I was doing a shoot with Robert Brantley for Manor Stocks, trying to come up with a little like hunting related commercial for them. We were just trying to work it out. Ultimately, they ended up not wanting to go with the video that I put together for them, which is, it's fine. That doesn't really matter. What the point is that I was setting up the camera for a shot in this old barn that's on Gardner's property out there on his range, and set it up on the tripod, actually up on a table because I wanted to get up to this higher window coming out through the old barn.
Yeah.
And I set it all up on there, and it was fine. The tripod fit on the table. Everything was just sitting nicely. I turned to get something off the floor out of my bag, and when I stood back up, I bumped the table. And it's one of those where you just see, you just see everything
it's
in
like
slow motion.
Right?
You're like,
and there's nothing you can do about it.
Nothing you can do about it. It fell forward right onto the front lens, and like the entire, it didn't have interchangeable lenses.
Okay.
But the entire like matte box and lens, like the matte box busted off, the lens itself where it connects, like the metal connection ring and all that just cracked and came off.
I can't even imagine the feeling that you must have felt right there.
Yeah, just your gut just falls out.
I mean, I know how I felt when I dumped this thing. And like it was insured, so like I didn't know what that process was like, but ultimately I knew that I would be taken care of, kinda.
Yeah. I did not have
Like,
insurance.
I can't even imagine just dumping a $4,000 camera, and
I did not have insurance.
you might as well just take $4,000 and just light it on fire and watch it burn.
That's exactly it. And I tried multiple times to contact Panasonic directly. They were no help. I got no response from calls and emails.
Wow.
And all
That's surprising.
of it. Yep. And so there it sits in a box in a closet.
Huh. That's rough.
It sucks. So if I'd have had insurance, so that's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Whatever I would have paid for insurance on that thing would have been worth it at this point. And I didn't have it. What was it?
I said, yeah, get that crap.
Yeah, get that crap. Exactly. Uh-huh. Dude.
Yeah.
It hurt. It hurt my soul.
Yeah, it's like getting robbed and like losing your gear like that are both just like bad.
Yeah. I got robbed. I've been robbed twice. Not like personally, like face-to-face robbed.
Uh-huh.
Had my car broken into once. They took stereo, head unit, CDs, and a gun.
Oh, so you've had a firearm stolen?
I had a firearm stolen, yep. And
did that ever come back to you?
Nope.
Never?
Nope.
It's like firearms, at least, if they turn up in a crime, like you'll get it back.
Yep.
In theory.
Never did. That was out in Colorado when I lived out there. And then same thing out in Colorado. I had a second floor apartment. And a buddy was visiting from Iowa, and he brought his high-end mountain bike because we were going to do some mountain biking in the mountains. And he had put his we just wanted more space in the living room because we were playing games or whatever we were doing.
Yeah.
Wrestling? No. he put his high-end mountain bike out on the second floor deck. And
like no other access other than like through your apartment?
Yeah.
Okay.
It got stolen off the deck. Somebody climbed up there from the outside.
Wow.
Tossed the bike down
Some people's
to a friend,
kids, man.
And stole
bad.
it. Yeah. Well, the thing was like he heard it late in the everybody had just gone to bed, and he left it out there because it's like nobody can get to that. It's up on the second story of the place, right? Yeah. Nobody's going to get that bike,
let alone see it and then get to
it. Yeah. So somebody saw it sitting up there, probably in the daytime. They came back at like 1 in the morning, climbed up somehow on the outside of the deck, grabbed that bike and took it. Yep. That sucked.
Yeah. Man, getting robbed is like super lame. Yeah, Jared is talking about
on your
house getting robbed. That's bad.
Oh, dude. I'd have to move. I would feel like I have to move.
Oh, man. When I was in college, my apartment got broken into while we were home, dude.
Oh, man.
I had 5 roommates. There were 6 of us that lived in this apartment. And like while we were all home in the middle of the night, somebody broke it. Probably they just like left the freaking front door unlocked, but still like somebody either broke in. I can't remember. I can't remember now because, the police came and looked. I can't remember if they said, yeah, it looked like the window had been broken open or something. I don't remember, but 6 roommates. It's like, who knows if anybody locked the door, but either way, they broke in, stole my brand new TV that I had just gotten for Christmas, stole my Xbox and all my games, my brand new PS3 and all my new games, all gone.
Ugh. That sucks.
That was time number 1. And then same thing. I mean, in BYU of all places, like you wouldn't think that like you're going to get robbed at BYU, but people preying on those innocent guys, I guess. I don't know. My car got broken into there. And they stole I didn't have anything in it. Stole my backpack and a couple other rando things. But it's just like, it's just like one of those feelings because like there's no repercussion's the wrong word, but there's no like relief to that situation. Like there's no justice.
Right.
Like you get robbed, your stuff's gone. You don't get, probably, I guess if now that thinking about it, like I probably had some sort of an insurance policy, like a renter's insurance or something.
Bad guy gets away.
But yeah. The bad guy gets away. He gets all your stuff. You're out your stuff. Either you're paying a $500 deductible or $1,000 deductible if it makes sense, or you just don't have coverage. Like he doesn't get caught. If your stuff does turn up, it's usually trashed.
On my face. Sorry,
Like, so it's just like, It's the worst.
It does.
I can't even imagine like having your actual
sucks.
like home getting robbed. Like
he needed it more than you. Apparently.
oh,
You should just let him have it because he needed it more.
people think that crap.
Did you ever hear the stories out of that Chaz thing out in Oregon that happened, where they set up that whole little town controlled by a bunch of leftist liberal idiots?
Yeah.
And
hey, no, we need to save that talk for the gun channel.
Yeah, I'm sorry. My politics need to stay out of here.
I mean, leftist liberal idiots are the ones that watch this content.
You're all idiots. He didn't say. I said it. He didn't say it. I said it. Hate me. I don't care. Anyway, so I actually heard a legit story where somebody came to the leaders of the Chaz area, because they were the law now,
Yeah.
and said, my, $4,000 MacBook computer just got stolen out of my tent. What are you going to do about that? And the question wasn't anything that had anything to do with justice, of course, or fairness, or repercussions for that. It was, well, have you considered that maybe they needed it more than you needed it? Like, did you ever consider their feelings? Maybe they are the ones that really needed it, and you should let it go. That was the answer, the legitimate answer. This was all over in the news.
Leave our doors unlocked.
Yeah.
And if you want my video equipment more than I want it, then come take it.
Come on and get it. Yeah.
What the crap?
This is the world we live in.
You will be met with resistance if you try to come to my home or
much resistance.
It will not be a happy day for you.
Yeah, the autonomous zone. Thank you, Jared. Still no baby?
Chaz or Chop.
Come on.
Whatever. Yeah. Okay, you need to go tell your wife to get on it.
That's right.
My kid came out within it was fast. We drove to the hospital. I mean, we were 2 hours away from the hospital, but we were in Cody, Wyoming. And by the time we got to the hospital, I think my kid came out inside an hour.
Wow.
Yeah, it was fast.
My wife is in the teens of hours.
Really?
For all four.
Apparently I was 24 plus.
I can understand that. You're a little bit of a bonehead.
Yeah. No, I was stuck in the birth canal so long, I came out with super cone head.
This explains a lot. You know what else explains a lot? Canoyer, if you're still watching, you'll get a kick out of this. Maybe not. He'll probably he might actually think it's cool. He always likes to throw you for a bone. When you think you got that guy figured out, he's like, nope, coming at you from this angle. Anyway, this guy is the only human that I have ever been friends with that has a bidet in his bathroom.
All of my bathrooms.
All of his bathrooms, he has a bidet.
Yeah.
If you don't know what that is, first set your computer to text mode only, then go Google that crap.
Oh, there's nothing that pops up bad.
I don't know. I've never done it. I'm just giving them fair warning, just in case.
Yeah. So, yeah. Actually, funny story. I just had a friend literally today text me and say, hey, I think I want to get a bidet. You're the only person I know that has one. Which one should I get? Tried them. Yeah, so I actually have. That's pretty good. I picked up my bidet habit when I was in Southeast Asia. When I graduated college, my wife and I took a 6-week trip. Started in Singapore, went up through Malaysia and Thailand, and kind of saw everything there was to see out there. And pretty much there's no toilet paper.
Mm-hmm.
All it is bum guns. And it's not like a bidet, like a fancy bidet. Yeah, well, it's like in Japan. I think when most Americans hear bidet, they think of the fancy toilets that light up and sing to you and have LEDs and spray yummy smells. And it's like an automatic bidet.
That's a thing?
Yeah. That's what a real bidet is, I think. It actually has the sprayer in the toilet, and it comes up and it has buttons that you can control the location with buttons. It's that's a bidet. In Japan they have bidets. But in Southeast Asia they have bum guns, which is kitchen sprayer hose thing on your toilet.
This is what you have.
That's what I have. So I have bum guns is what I call them. But I guess technically you could call it a bidet too, because you squirt your butt with.
Felix, hello from Germany.
Oh, nice. I bet Germany's got.
It's 4 a.m.
I bet Germany's got some bum guns.
Germany probably has bum
They're
guns.
fancy over there, aren't they?
I don't know. Germany, do you have bum guns?
Or bidets? Whatever. We're not from Texas. We live in Missouri. It's pretty much like cooler than Texas, right?
It's funny because I've been to quite a few foreign countries.
Uh-huh.
And that is a common question. Are you from Texas? Like, seriously,
Really?
I feel like a lot of foreigners think like Texas is America.
Or California.
America's Texas.
Yeah.
I don't want them thinking we're from California. That's a bad thing.
Yeah.
I'm okay them thinking we're from Texas.
Yeah, I like that.
I'm all right with that.
Yeah. Okay, Felix is asking what bum guns are.
What? Oh, no.
Guns are. Yeah, so, I mean, I guess I don't know what you have in Germany, but in America, pretty much every kitchen faucet either has one like next to the main faucet or like the top of the faucet pulls out, but it's essentially just like a little water squirter that's on a flexible hose that you spray your dishes off with, right?
Yeah.
So all over Southeast Asia, they have the same thing connected to a toilet. So it just hangs there next to the toilet. There's no toilet paper. It's just flexible hose connected with a little gun squirter. And when you're done pooping, you just spray yourself off and then pull your pants up on your wet butt. So I did that all over Southeast Asia. And it just kind of made sense to me. Like, when you have muddy boots, how do you clean off muddy boots?
Yeah, you spray them off with the hose.
Spray them off. You don't take a dry paper towel.
No,
Try to wipe it
just
off,
smears
right?
it. Yeah,
It
smears it. Yeah.
Right? So when you have hair
all right,
or
all
another
right.
region,
All right.
like it makes more sense to spray it
We
than
got
wipe
it. Bum guns.
Bum
Got it.
guns.
I like Greg's response.
You know if you ever poop here, you're gonna try it.
I'm not either.
So my parents were just
No, I'm
here,
not.
and my mom comes out of the bathroom one day, and she's like, "How do you use those bum guns?" I was like, "Did you try it?" And she's like, "Maybe." I don't think it worked.
I feel like all you're going to do is this has gone a really wrong direction tonight. But I feel like all you're going to do is spray poop all over the bathroom.
No, I don't notice it. It just all goes down.
Do you clean your bathroom or does your wife?
I do.
Oh, okay.
Well, I don't have to because it's clean.
I don't know,
It's just
man.
bum gun, man.
I don't know.
Just sprays it down into the toilet.
I'm not doing it. I think what Greg said is probably right, and I'm not going to do it. Maybe I should try it once. You should try it once, maybe.
You got to try everything once, otherwise you don't know you don't like it. We'll stop there on that one because there's another rabbit hole that can go down.
Yeah. Hey, he says y'all don't look like... Hold on a minute, Felix. You're from Germany, and you just said...
I like it.
You just said y'all. I ain't buying it.
Felix knows how it is.
He's probably stationed at Ramstein or something over there. And he's from Texas.
Yeah, he probably is from Texas.
I was born in Dallas, brother. I was born in Dallas.
Were you?
I was.
Huh, that's cool.
Yep.
So you're Texan.
Texan.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's why I like you.
By birth.
I like it.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm from Arizona. So Arizona's probably like Texas _2. It's like the sub-Texas.
Is that right?
I don't know. It's kind of like a similar feel, like, or at least it used to be when I grew up there. Like, really American, like totally conservative, pro-gun, rodeos all over. Like, not as many like cowboy hats and stuff as Texas, but like generally, like Arizonans have a lot of pride about being from Arizona. Similar climate with being deserty and stuff, and it's cooler than New Mexico, which is like right in between them. So I don't know. I kind of think like Arizona is a pretty cool place to be from. Like people are excited to say they're from Arizona. I don't know.
I dig it.
Are Missourians proud to say they're from Missouri?
I don't know about
like,
that.
is there Missouri pride? I mean, Texans are like, there's a massive amount of Texas pride. Like
That's
they're
true.
like almost like more Texan than they are American, right?
This is true.
Like I haven't really noticed that in Missouri. It's like, oh yeah, from Missouri or whatever.
I wonder if we met somebody who was like legitimately born and raised here, never left here, would probably be like that.
That's Missouri pride.
That's my guess. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think Arizonans are pretty like Arizona proud.
Right on.
I like telling people I'm from Arizona, even though I lived in Utah for like 10 years.
Yeah.
It's like when I'm here now, I don't say, oh yeah, I'm from Utah, from Arizona.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. I mean,
So
Greg says Missouri's awesome. I actually like Missouri.
I do too. It's weird. Like I would never have thought that life would bring me to Missouri and that I would choose to stay here when I can go anywhere in the country and start my own business, but we like it here, man. My wife likes it. It's green all the time. So I don't know.
Greg, it's always got the jokes.
Greg, are you from born and raised in Missouri?
I bet he was from Illinois. Doesn't your grandpa live in Illinois, Greg? Your family's from Illinois. Doesn't matter. You don't need to say it publicly.
Yeah, it does. We're going to find you. All right. What other fun camera? Oh, I know what we can talk about.
All right. What do you got?
Okay. Let's clear this junk off.
Okay. Like everything?
Well, I mean, not everything. Just kind of make room.
Okay.
Get your first impressions on this box. Be kind of careful because I'm returning it all because I kind of changed the configuration of products that I'm keeping.
Okay. He is from Illinois. That's what
I gotcha.
I thought so. Moved here for Stephanie and suppressors. Girls.
Okay, unboxing. Joel's going to unbox this thing.
Oh, I know what this is.
Yeah. You're going to want it.
V&D and mist. Oh, and what is this? This is, oh baby, Polar Pro Base Camp filter system.
Yeah.
I do like it.
Have you checked it out before?
You haven't returned.
Have you had it in your cart yet?
You haven't returned it yet because you want to try to get me to buy it.
I'll give you the opportunity to buy it if you want. I did think about it.
Why would you return this?
I was like, because I kind of configured it a little bit differently. And okay, 2 reasons. I configured it a little bit differently and rebought it, so it's coming Saturday.
Okay.
Another reason is I accidentally bought it on my non-business card, so I need to rebuy it on my business card to get the write-off. So.
Okay. How big is this? Can I take it out?
Yeah. No, we can open it.
I don't want to tear up the box. I hate these when they do that. You do it. I'm going to go to the bathroom real quick.
Okay.
Sorry, guys. I'll be right back. Tell me if Greg says anything funny.
So one of the things I like about Polar Pro is they do this super nice box. It's like this matte box, and then they do the UV cure to really highlight the product. Super cool. Pull that out of the sleeve. They've got the same thing, kind of a topography map there, which is something I like to do in my branding too. Same thing, UV cure, which is pretty neat. And I'll go ahead and we'll let Joel open that so we can kind of get his thoughts on what it looks like when he opens it. But essentially what this is it's a matte box system that fits the Sony cameras, goes on the front, and then allows you to put big square filters in front of the camera lens. And then they're just kind of quick change filters versus the screw-on ones that screw onto your lens. So part of the reason for going with this system is it's really versatile for using it in different ways when you're kind of out in the back country. And it's faster to change out the V&D system. So V&D stands for variable neutral density. When you're filming or when you're doing photography, you essentially have your exposure triangle, which is your shutter speed, how long your shutter is open, controls how much light gets into your camera. Then you have your aperture speed, which is how open the aperture of your camera is. If it's more open, it lets more light in. If it's more closed off, it's less light, and that also influences your depth of field. And then you have your ISO, which is kind of like a post-processing that your internal camera does to add more light to your exposure. As you increase your ISO, you can introduce more grain into your film or your footage. But when you're doing video, one of those 3 of your exposure triangle is set. So we set our shutter speed at twice our frame rate. So when we shoot 1/24, we generally have our shutter speed set to 50 or 1/50. So when you have that parameter locked, it really kind of reduces your ability to change your exposure if you're shooting outside or something and you don't have control over the light. So what these variable neutral density filters do is it actually blocks some of the incoming light to actually darken your scene, which allows you to keep that same frame rate or shutter speed, I guess, of 1/50 or whatever, 2 times your frame rate. You know, if you're shooting 60 frames a second, you'd set your shutter speed at 1/120. But this just allows you to further block that light so you can get the correct exposure while maintaining your shutter speed. So that's kind of what these all do. So these are just different filters that go into this matte box system. So we'll let Joel open it up and kind of get his initial thoughts. Have you looked at these online before? Like,
no.
Do you even know what you don't even know what it looks like?
I don't even know what it looks like. I've just heard they're awesome.
Okay. So we've got a little Tilta one, little mini one,
Yep.
you know, that you're familiar with. Which one did you get for your rig?
I went with
Is it small rig?
Yes, thank you.
Small rig system. So both of those are kind of the smaller, simpler, pretty basic solutions to just kind of have a matte box and a flag.
Yep.
So this is kind of the pro system.
The Cadillac.
Get your thoughts on what you think about this guy.
Nice presentation. That's for sure. Oh, yeah. Okay. That's beautiful, isn't it? Like, that's really nicely made. I like that. Do you not like how big this is? You don't like how big it is?
No, I do like it.
That's pretty cool. This just locks this up.
Yep.
And just tighten down. Okay. And you can slide your filters in from the top.
Yeah, so with this guy, there's a, let's see if I can figure it all out. So right here on the back, this loosens, and this piece, this screws onto your camera lens. So this is an 82 millimeter adapter. This is the one that actually fits this camera.
Yep.
So you put this on your camera, and then the hood or the matte box will attach to your camera lens.
Yep, pretty standard.
This V&D is a 2-part system. So it comes with a...
Look at these nice little cases.
Yeah, everything comes with cool cases and all sorts of stuff. So somewhere in here, maybe... Oh, it's in there. Yeah, that's the rest of it.
Smaller.
So it's a 2-piece to make it work. So one of them is a circular polarizer. So you can use this by itself if you're filming water or something like that to it polarizes the water so you can kind of see through the water. So this,
hey, not buying it now.
This piece installs in the back, and it's directional, and I can't ever remember which direction it goes in, but it just drops in like that. There's a little lever you pull right here, and it holds it in place.
Yep.
Then there's a wheel on top that you rotate that changes the polarization of the polar filter.
Yep.
And then the one you've got there, it's a 2 to 5 V&D, so 2 to 5 stops of light.
Yep.
Slides in right here. And then you lock it down right there. So as you rotate that, light to dark.
Very nice.
So if I were to hold this up to the camera, we'll try it, and you can kind of see how it does. This will be a little janky because I'm just holding it in front of the camera, but
you get an idea.
As you hold it there, the variable allows you to kind of shift it and go lighter.
Yep. Oh, we just disappeared. Oh, we're coming back.
Is it working?
Yeah, it's working.
Cool.
Yeah. It shows people what it does.
So,
yep.
That allows you, you probably can't hear me when I'm over there. It just allows you to kind of control the amount of exposure that you get from your camera system when one of your parameters is locked because you're shooting video instead of photo. So,
but it's a super nice system. Yeah, it's really nice. So what do these retail for?
I think this kit, everything I have here is $1,200.
Yeah.
So this, if you just get the matte box with a 2 to 5 and a 6 to 9 and the circular polarizer, that kit, no, I think it's just, I think it is both. I think that kit is $700.
Okay.
And then I got a couple extra mist filters and stuff like that.
Right
to kind of change it up. So
yeah. Sweet.
It's a really cool system.
Yeah. I like it.
Super dig it.
Well, and it looks really, I mean, it just aesthetically.
I mean, let's be honest. That's like half of why we do what we do, right? To
super cool looking.
Pull out this camera rig that's like, whoa, you know, I think
you must be a pro.
Yeah. I mean, I think a client, to some extent, like a client wants to see you.
Oh yeah,
They bust out this like super awesome looking camera rig. Because
Yeah.
like if you don't, then they're like, well, I could just shoot this on my iPhone.
Yeah.
You know,
Peter Lindgren did a video about that like last week.
Uh-huh.
That exact phenomenon with clients.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, oh, you must not be a professional if you don't pull out.
Yeah. When you just pull out a bare bones A7S3, even though it's like a really, really high end, awesome camera.
They've all seen these like movie quality cinema cameras that are these giant rigs, you know, and they just figure if you're not, they just figure if you're not doing that, you must suck.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So I think this system is pretty neat.
Heck yeah, man. That's awesome. I dig it.
But yeah, I'm returning this because so what I did, this system, I got the mist filters separate from the V&Ds, right?
Yeah.
And what I didn't realize is to be able to run both of those together, I would have to have the third stage. So it'd be another $250 to get a stage 3 so I can have 2 of these together.
Oh, okay.
So
that's not like an add-on?
It is an add-on. Oh. Yeah. So it's just $250 and you can get the third stage.
I see.
And what I chose to do is spend more money to have it be a little bit simpler, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So now, instead of having a 2-5 and a 6-9 V&D and a mist and a heavy mist filter, so you could have 4 and get all of the combinations.
Yep.
I went 2-5, 6-9, 2-5 mist, 6-9 mist, 2-5 heavy mist, 6-9 heavy mist. Okay. So I bought 6 filters that accomplish the same thing that you can accomplish with 4 if you just get the second stage.
I see.
So I kind of decided to change up my attack.
Yeah.
Essentially just making this one thing smaller.
Yeah.
I don't know. Probably didn't need to do that, but I chose to do that.
Yeah.
So
I dig it. This is really cool.
It's a pretty cool system. Yeah. It's just like really well made. Chinese, man, I'm telling you, like this is made in China, and like Chinese are really good at making good stuff if you make them make good stuff. Otherwise, they make cheap stuff, you know.
Sam followed us over too. Sam Sutter.
Oh, cool. Is he another Mo guy?
Yeah, I think so.
So yeah, cameras are just like guns. There's just always more cool stuff that you need to buy.
Yep.
Yeah, these guys do a 60-day return, like no questions asked. That's kind of nice.
That's awesome.
Anyway.
Yeah, that's legit, man. I really like that. I'm really curious about the whole mist filters. I've been hearing a lot about those, and I kind of been curious. What they look like.
I think for your average you and me, it's just like whatever.
Yeah.
Like, wouldn't even notice. I mean, we could put a mist filter on that and just kind of see what it does. Certainly, when we're streaming, it's not going to make a difference. But it just kind of makes from what I understand, makes your skin look a little bit softer, and then all of your light blooms. It just kind of like puts this aura around them, so that they talk about it just having a little bit more of that kind of cinematic look and feel to your footage. So I probably could have gone without all the mist stuff.
Yeah.
For what I do, it's like I don't have a client that's like I need to have a diffusion filter on this shot. You know?
Yeah,
I don't have those clients,
but they would know. Yeah.
Let's get this back in there before you still think. Should just drop in. Yep. Yeah, so I think this system's super cool. I'm excited about it.
Yeah, it's neat.
Kind of just like I'm the type of person that just always has to have all the stuff too. So.
Yeah, you do. It's good. It's pretty. I like it. It's definitely pretty.
I think that was all the stuff too. So.
I could find a reason why I need that, but I don't need that.
I don't need it either. I already have the same whole setup in screw-on ones.
Yeah.
That cost $1,000, you know? It's just like, come on, Rex. Pick one and stop.
Yeah. Greg says photos seem so much easier than videos. It's got a circular polarizer uses for cars, and that's it as far as fanciness.
Yeah. I think photos is a lot easier. Just like
so
you
too.
don't. Yeah, you don't need any of this. The only reason you would need a neutral density filter for photography is essentially if you want to be able to shoot time lapse, not even time lapse, but just like long exposure stuff during the day. Like if you know, those shots that you see of like the water flowing where like the water just looks like it's all creamy and melty, or like same thing with like the clouds, where like the clouds just look kind of mysticky.
Yeah.
You accomplish that by doing a long exposure shot. But if it's daytime, that long exposure shot's just going to be white because there's too much sun. So you put a really strong neutral density filter in front of your lens that allows you to shoot a long exposure shot during the day and get that, you know, all of that water just looks like it's hooked together, I guess, while all your rocks and everything else just looks stationary. So.
Yep. I use an ND on any daytime outdoor photography.
Photography you do?
Yep. Because I don't like that kind of bright, direct sun. It allows me to, it just allows me to Greg just said, yeah. I use an ND filter for racing so I can do a slower shutter speed in direct sunlight. I mean, that's it. You know, I just like the way it looks. I just like to tame that sun a little bit. Allows me to just get a better exposure. Like
if you're shooting on auto or something, your shutter is going to go to 8,000 or something in bright sunlight, right? Like that's as high as it can go.
Yeah.
And your ISO can only go so low,
right? So
it's like, on a really bright day, like you probably still have to have one.
Yeah. So middle of the day, I've found that if I don't have it, I can't get my camera on the settings that I want for best pictures. So I run an ND as well. Anytime it's sunny out and midday kind of thing.
Yeah, I just don't do a ton of photography, so don't know as much on that front of like what makes the most sense.
Yeah, I think it's got a nice look to it and it allows you just to have a little bit more range of settings.
Yeah.
But yep. Cool. What else we got? There seems like there's got to be something else.
I mean, there's always lots of stuff that we could talk about. We've been going on this one for 60 minutes.
How's that possible? I feel like we just started.
I know. It's your bedtime.
No, I'm good.
You're good?
Yeah, I think I got my second wind.
Oh, okay. Now we don't even have Sour Patch Kids again.
I know.
Sheesh. Dude, I tried a new bag. They had a mystery flavor in it.
I tried it as well. What do you think? What do you think it is?
I couldn't tell. It had some clue on it that was like, it's a flavor from both the North and the South, and it's a melting pot of flavor in your mouth or something like that. Some rhyme.
I didn't even see that.
Really?
I didn't see that. But you know what it tasted like to me was funnel cake.
Really?
Yeah. It was a really mild flavor, though.
Yeah.
I hope they don't do it because
I didn't notice some big like citrusy like this. Like when I eat an orange one, I'm like, yep, that was orange.
Yep, exactly.
Blue and red are my favorite.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I don't like the blues all that much.
Really?
Yeah, orange is my favorite.
Huh.
Anyway,
good to know.
I wasn't a big.
I'll give you all my orange ones.
Okay, copy that.
I don't remember being like, oh yeah, I have to have that.
I wasn't a big fan of it.
I wonder if there's multiple mystery flavors.
Why would they do that? I thought there's only one winner.
Oh, is there?
I don't know. I guess I'm asking. I thought there was only.
I wonder if they do like a bunch of different ones, and then there's like a QR code on the box that corresponds to the flavor that you got.
So
and then they pick based on who writes in and says they liked it.
That'd be pretty clever. I like business. I like ingenuity for that reason.
Yeah, like trying something different to get people talking about Sour Patch Kids. Here we are on a live stream talking about Sour Patch Kids.
Yep, and we're talking about it. It worked.
I'm talking about Nico Detour again because he got mad that we didn't mention that he loves Sour Patch Kids too.
Nico,
because we were talking about him on the truck thing.
Yeah, he likes them.
Yeah,
well, we mentioned it this time.
Yeah, and then I had a whole conversation with Jeff Spalding about forgetting his name when I was telling a story about him.
I don't remember what we were talking about.
Yeah, because I never said his name.
Okay.
It was that side match.
Oh, yeah.
At the thing where we shot head to head and won a rifle.
Yeah.
Jeff Spalding. Couldn't remember his name on the live stream though.
You got it.
But yeah.
You got it. So if you want to answer Greg, but I got something.
We'll finish what you're talking about and then we'll answer those questions.
Well, no, I was going to change topics.
Oh, okay.
Sam.
I want to get a nice camera, maybe get into content creation, but the camera world looks like a deeper hole than precision rifle. It's
equal.
I would say it's greater.
Yeah.
Because like precision rifle, it's just like you've got a rifle and a scope and like a bipod. I don't know, there's reloading. Yeah, I mean, it can get big. But I think cameras, I mean, there's a larger ceiling on camera equipment, right?
Absolutely.
Like, at first I was thinking the Sony A7S III was like an expensive camera, $3,500. And then it's
for
like
the body only, yeah.
And then it's like, okay, but then there's Reds, which seem like maybe the most expensive at $30,000 or $40,000 for a body.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go to RE Alexas and Alexa Minis, and those are $100,000.
$100,000.
It's like there's a larger ceiling in camera stuff, and that's just camera bodies.
Yeah.
You got the same thing with lights. Like
Lenses.
When I started buying lights, it's like I thought aperture was the expensive stuff, but aperture is like the cheapest pro grade stuff there is.
Yep.
So it's just like, yeah, I think it's worse.
Now that I think about it, yeah, I think you're right.
I think there's just more holes to dig into.
Yeah.
With precision rifle, there's just like a couple.
Yeah.
It's like your rifle system and then your reloading system. So rifle is rifle and optics. Right. That's kind of it.
But you've definitely
reloading is just your press and your scale. That's kind of it.
You definitely have a kind of a low, middle, and high end rifle.
Mm-hmm.
And high end rifles, at least for the games we play, are still usually $10,000 or less.
Yeah.
Our kind of entry level pro grade camera systems are $10,000.
Yeah, for one body and one
lens.
body,
one lens, cage, ninja, all the things that you see right there. That whole setup is $10,000.
Yeah,
close, dang close.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
And then by the time you add light, I mean, I don't want to say it out loud, but
it's
on the order of $50,000 of stuff.
Yeah,
to produce this image right here.
Yeah.
Certainly not all of it.
We're not getting any help from stinking YouTube or Facebook. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Looks amazing over. Well, that one looks pretty good. That one, the raw one looks pretty good wherever that's at. That one's the raw one.
That one's the main raw one.
Yeah, that one looks pretty good. I mean, they all look pretty good.
Yeah,
that's a lot.
It's good to see them all on that screen now, though, because YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook all look the same.
They all look similar.
And now that I kind of changed the settings on my screen,
it's a lot closer.
A lot closer to you.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
But yeah, I think video is a big rabbit hole to go down.
Absolutely. Yeah, Sam, so here's what I would say. You figure out if you want to do photography or video or both, because I think there's options for that. You got to figure out a budget that you're willing to put in. Like, what are you talking about for camera and lens? Because if you're wanting to go, I don't know, so what I started out with doing the YouTube videos that I started out doing for Precision Rifle Network, I started out with a Panasonic GH4, which when I bought it
was the best.
Was a pretty good 4K video camera. I bought the nicest prime lenses that I could buy. So that body back then was like close to $2,000 just for the body. And then the lenses, we're talking pretty high-end prime lenses. So those were $1,500, $2,500 for the lenses. That was for a Panasonic GH4 kind of prosumer level camera. And then Micro Four Thirds as far as like sensor size. And then I switched to the GH5, which is what I've been using all the way up until last fall.
Mm-hmm.
And then I switched to full frame on the Panasonic with the S5.
For 5 minutes.
S5. No, I still have it, and I use it. Like all the ones where I'm running, where I'm using the teleprompter.
Mm-hmm.
That's all set up on the Panasonic S5. Okay. I just have that one dedicated to that.
Gotcha.
For the teleprompter stuff. Yep. But so all of my stuff, I don't have quite as high end of lights and mics and stuff and filters that Rex does. I would guess if you wanted to get, let's say, a Panasonic S5 with a like a high.
Would you say that's one step up above the GH5?
Yes, because it's full frame. Yeah. Because you've got, I mean, the GH5 has still got the 4K 10-bit 422. It was the first one in the small camera world, digital world, to have it actually. But it's a really nice camera, but it's micro four thirds, and we tested that crop. Remember when I finally switched to that S5 and I sent you that picture of my man cave? It was like comparing the GH5.
You're like, whoa, look at how much S5. I can see.
Like, holy crap.
Look at what I've been missing my whole life.
Missing all of this. Yeah.
It's like when people find Christ, right? their whole world gets opened up.
No joke. Yeah. Greg's like, so anyway, I guess, Sam, what I'm saying is you need to figure out what you want to do. If you're wanting to do video production, I would go full frame. I would bite the bullet and save up until you can at least go full frame.
Would you go A7C or A7 III or A7 IV? I think the 4 is probably coming out soon, but would you go that A7C or A7 IV?
I mean, for an entry-level person just getting into it, maybe just wanting to start up a YouTube channel, wanting to do like content creation, maybe a vlog where they're mostly hand holding it or something like that, or small little handheld tripod, I would do the C.
Yeah.
I'd do the A7C. I think it's a fabulous camera. And I'd go with like a 24-70 Sigma art lens because it's a really nice lens, but you save a little bit of money over the G Masters. You save $1,000 over the G Masters.
Doesn't look as cool.
Doesn't look quite as cool.
Don't get the little red G on the side of your lens.
But I got a
little... Wait, is your 24-70 white?
I got a
or
little...
is it black?
It's black. I got a little silver A on there, which is almost as cool as the G.
Oh, I thought you got the G Master.
You're talking about the 70-200.
Oh, yeah.
And I did go with the G Master, 70-200.
Is that one white?
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it looks really cool. It looks like something out of Star Wars. I dig it.
Yeah.
But for Sam, for somebody who's starting up, look at the Sony A7C. You're going to be $1,500 to $1,800 for that. It'll come with a little kit lens, but that's worthless, and you need to get rid of that. It's not worthless. It just doesn't look nearly as good.
Yeah.
And then I would look at maybe a Sigma 24-70. You'll be able to do photography with that. You'll definitely be able to do videography. Get a nice mic. So I'd spend $300 and get a Rode Video Mic Pro or
Plus.
Pro Plus.
My Pro doesn't work on this camera, but my Pro Plus does.
Yeah, it's weird.
Riddle me this,
right? So you're going to be $3,000, I think, to get a minimum
to get a good enough
right
for
quality
pro
for quality YouTube videos.
Yeah,
you're going to be that,
and then invest in some sort of a learning course.
Yeah,
I'm a member of Full Time Filmmaker.
That seems like a really good one.
I like that one. Yeah. It's pretty comprehensive. They keep adding content to it, so that's good. They've got a whole new photo section that's on there. That's really good. So I don't know. You can learn everything on YouTube that you'd need to learn, but having a course that's kind of just organized and getting to plug into a community is pretty nice. So I don't know. It's certainly a fun rabbit hole to go down, but
yeah,
if you want to film gun stuff, it's hard because matches are full of people that are just like doing it for free.
No joke.
Like your golf dude, right? That kind of came in and was just like, oh yeah, and just like take pictures for free. He like takes good pictures, but just like throws them out for free.
Yeah, a different Greg, but Greg that decided to just come in and get interested in PRS and starts taking all the pictures at the PRS matches. Yeah, dude worked me clean out of a good paying job because he came in and wanted to do it for free. And he's got the credentials, right? He's a professional photographer for the PGA, right?
Yeah.
But he doesn't. So for the PRS photos, like, I don't want to dig on he's an okay photographer as far as like, he knows how to properly expose and things like that. But a lot of times, dude, like there's no thought that goes into actually framing a shot, properly framing a shot. He pretty much centers up the action on everything that he shoots, and it will look good. In that sense, he's experienced enough to know how to make a photo look good, but he doesn't put any artistic thought on the fly into framing the image, and he doesn't do any editing on any of his images. He just card dumps them up to Facebook, and people freak out and think he's the best thing ever. And I'm sorry, but that's not, in my book, that's not what it means to be a professional photographer.
So is he shooting for the PRS now instead of you?
I assume so. Well, I left the PRS on my own choice because that's a rabbit hole I don't want to go down. But
don't need to go down that.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with those folks, but it was a nice, agreeable split.
Yeah.
So yeah, but it could have been considerably more lucrative for me had this particular Greg not come along doing everything for free. And that's some of what I was going to talk. You can say what you were going to say, but that's some of what I was going to talk about with my next thought. But
yeah, I mean, I think as creators, it's I feel like the industry's kind of split. Like when new people come into the industry, it's just like this race to the bottom of like, oh, I'll do it for free, I'll do it for super cheap, and then at some point you kind of get over the hump of that race to the bottom to where you're just like charging a good price for what you're doing that's equal to the value of what you're giving your clients, and you kind of go from this price-based structure of doing your work to a value-based structure of your work, and then it starts to like be able to make a business out of it versus just like doing a bunch of crap for free.
Yep. Well, and that's where I was going to go with. I've been, if there's one comment that I see a ton on the Facebook groups that I'm a part of for like videography and filmmaker type stuff, it's from people getting on there going, hey, I'm trying to land this client, and they said they will give me a $500 budget, and that's the most money I've ever seen from one of my jobs yet, and I really want to take the job. Am I doing it for too little money?
Yeah.
It's like, if you're asking the question, am I doing it for too little money? Your thought is already in your head that you're doing it for too little money, and you are doing it for too little money. Like, it just frustrates the crap out of me. And then I answer with something like, hey, I'm really kind of a nobody as far as like, I haven't done all that much work with different clients. Like, I can count on both my hands how many actual paying gigs I have had with clients, but I won't go out the door for less than $500 for a day rate. And then I'm going to charge you another $500 just merely for anything that I do that day in fees and stuff like that. So I'm $1,000 to do anything for one day, minimum. And I'm worth that, every penny. And
I'm worth more than that.
That's what I'm saying. So that's what I tried. That's the message.
And anybody that can create a semi-professional level video is worth that.
Right.
But again, it depends on your client.
True.
If you have a client that the value of video is not going to bring them a return, and they just want video because they think they want a video, then $500 is probably too much for that client. If there's no reason for them doing a video, I think there's a lot of pressure right now for brands and small companies to like do video and do all this stuff. So I think a lot of people are rushing into it of like, I just need to make a video. And they're hiring people to make them videos without having any strategy behind it.
Right.
Like, I'm a video strategist.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'll make your video, but like, I'm going to help you plan and like have a reason for making your video.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if you don't go into it with a plan, then you are kind of just like throwing money at a wall, hoping something's going to stick. But like,
that's what people don't understand. And I do think you're a great example of this is like, what I see you doing as a business owner is you're providing people with a complete package.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like the rifle world. We know Gunworks, we know how Gunworks is. Yeah. People balk at the price of $10,000 for a Gunworks rifle system because they don't understand that what they're getting is a hand-built, complete custom rifle, not just the rifle, but glass that has been specifically made, reticle that's been specifically made. The ammo has been perfectly tailored to match that particular system, tested, dope gathered, all the things have been figured out for you, and you're doing the same thing with your videography, marketing, advertising, all the stuff. Like you're building everything from a logo and a slogan or message, you know, to the websites, to the, you know,
creating everything that a brand would need to become a brand versus selling a widget.
Yeah, the entire package is what you're offering, and if people can't see that that's worth more money, then it's like you said, maybe it's just not a good fit.
They're not a good fit for me, right? Like, there is somebody out there that'll make you a video for $100.
Who I got to plug in my computer? It's going to die.
Don't die. Yeah. It's just not me, you know, or it's not you. Yep. It's that guy on the forums. It's like, it's $500 too much for me to ask for making this video. It's like, if you're asking that question, then charge them $250 to make their video. Exactly. Yeah. If I don't know, I think a lot of people there's a meme that's been going around recently of like what a client sees as far as like making a video, and it's like 3 steps. It's like show up to the video shoot, press record, and then like send to client. It's like boom, boom, boom. It's like 3 steps, but like really there's like 50 steps that go into producing a professional level video. Like Greg mentioned, like the editing, which is something that the client doesn't see and doesn't even come close to understand. Yeah. It's like a huge portion of the time. I mean, they almost say, I could see editing being a 2-to-1 minimum as far as hours go.
Oh yeah.
If you're going to do a 5-hour video shoot, it's probably going to be somewhere between 2 and 10 times that much time to put out the edit.
Yeah. And it changes depending on the type of creative person you are too. Like I bet I took 500 to 600 photos of this law enforcement event this last week. Mm-hmm. Just still images, not to mention all the video. Yeah. And I went through all of those images. So I spent probably 3.5 hours just going through the images alone, sifting through to find 18 images that I wanted to put time into. Yeah. I then proceeded to put about 20 minutes a piece into those
custom editing
each one, all of it, to come up with 18, heavily edited, nice images. Yeah. And, what that's worth is whatever it's worth. For me, I would have done that for $1,000 day rate. You know what I mean? I wouldn't break that down into an hourly fee. Mm-hmm. I just don't think in hourly anymore. I think of like...
day rate's still kind of hourly.
It is kind of, it's a bigger chunk. Yeah. That's true. Yeah. But I don't know. It just depends, and I'm slow at it. I'm meticulous when it comes to editing my photos. Yeah. Less so with video because I feel like I'm not at this high level of understanding all the tricks that I can do with the video, but with with Lightroom, with photos and things, I got a bunch of tricks up my sleeve to make photos look good. Yeah. But videos, I'm still kind of in the learning phase. So.
Yeah. Knoyer's got it right. Even iMovie, when all you can really do is cut and move stuff, you can still spend a lot of time just making a little clip. Mm-hmm. I've been having a really big problem right now with my editing workflow. I probably have somewhere between 15 and 20 full projects that are mostly for my own brand, but they're full projects that need to be edited. And I just don't get to them because it's so much time. Yep. So,
and that's lost money for you if those videos aren't going to make you something.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm basically going to take billable time and spend it on, putting content together, which is why I like doing these. Yep. Because it's like at least once a week I'm doing a pretty big chunk of content. But it's like what I should be doing is going through these and picking out little clips. Yeah. And posting little clips of what we say throughout the week. But I don't.
To different socials or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. So it all takes time. And right now I'm just so busy doing client work. Mm-hmm. Busy again because that faucet's turned back on again.
Yay. I want to hear it. You got a good gig there. That's great.
No, it's good. But it was kind of got weird for a little bit. He kind of wasn't giving me work, and I was like, "What's going on?" I was feeling really weird about it, And, my brain after, I've been fired before and just like automatically I just go to like, he hired somebody else and this whole gig's going to go away. And what am I going to do? So like, it was like a week of kind of like quiet, not really getting new stuff. And finally I was like, whatever. So I just called him like 2 days ago. I was like, dude, and he's like, what's up, Rick? So I'm like, okay, sounds like we're good. He's like, I'm in Hawaii, bro. Like, sorry.
I told you he was on vacation. Yeah.
He's like, dude, when I come out here, I just get like so swamped, and it sounded like you were busy with other client stuff. So I was going to like give you a little time to like catch up, and now it's on again. So
awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
It's good.
That's good news.
But it's like, for me as a creative and a newer business owner that services clients, like you have some of those ups and downs, right? So it's just like, I got to wrap my brain around that and kind of prepare for it and not let myself get so like, I don't know, what am I going to do when like something just starts to not go totally right, So
yep.
Just kind of part of that problem is I have so much work to do for this one client when it's on, that when it shuts off, it's like, I've been telling everybody else no for the last 3 months. So
yeah,
I need to hire somebody to help me kind of have more bandwidth to do some of the other stuff while we're still
I should just give you my guy.
Yeah, you said that last time.
I should. I didn't say that I was going to do it. I said he was my guy, and I'm not giving him to you.
That's true.
But he's really good, and he's open to just kind of like creative deals like that. So he might be the perfect guy. Oh, battery exhausted.
That lasted a pretty long time for. Sound's still on though.
Sound is? It's just not the video?
Yeah.
Oh. Hold on, guys. We're coming back, I think. Yeah, how long did that last?
I mean,
it was hours.
Pretty much 2 hours on yours.
2.5, yeah. And another hour and 15 on yours.
Another hour and a half.
That's really not that bad for streaming nice video like that.
And it was at 55% when I started. And the big battery's still at 82, so.
Yeah. That's not bad.
Should be back up.
Yep, just came back on, refocusing.
Yeah, so one of the things that I've been looking into is like, or that Joel and I were talking about earlier with all these batteries, because we've got these big batteries that we're using to power our cameras that still run the Sony batteries. And my tendency is to drain my batteries all the way before I put them back on the charger. So question is, do you need to do that still with these Sony NPFZ, whatever they are, 100s? Or, if they're at 55%, can you just slap them on the charger and, go to half and back up to the top? And are you going to reduce the battery's effectiveness or not? So
I don't know.
That's pretty good, though. 55% for like 3 hours of constant video streaming.
Yeah, I'm fairly impressed with that.
It's pretty good. Yeah. The big battery's only at like 82.
Heck yeah, man.
So
it's not bad at all.
Going for days.
Days.
Yep.
Right on.
Yeah, so I don't know. Client work is like really fun, and it's liberating and awesome to be able to work for yourself. And if I want to work at night, I can, and I want to go to the pool with my kid in the middle of the day, I can. Like, all that flexibility is really awesome, but then it comes with a little extra stress of just like not knowing that you're going to get that paycheck every other week, but
yeah,
I think it's worth it, and it's a lot of fun. But I think I just need to get a little bit more diversity going on. Start saying yes and figuring out how to get the work done when I do say yes with the number of hours in a day. But
yeah, you're not the guy you don't strike me as the guy that really wants to turn down work. If it's a good gig, you wouldn't want to turn it down. You'd rather try to find a way to make it work.
I'd rather say yes and then scramble to get you to help me out or
somebody else. Yeah.
Joel, help me, dude. I just said yes to this job and I can't do it. So, I don't want to fully discharge. Okay.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. Okay. That's interesting.
So I just should start getting more comfortable with pulling them when they're at 50.
Yeah.
Recharging them. Okay.
All right. It's good to know.
Yeah, steady paychecks, man. It's that trade-off. I mean, Kanoyer, you're a business owner. I mean, you kind of know how it is. It's like I think you have a lot more potential.
Not anymore.
Did he sell it?
I think, Greg, you can correct. It doesn't. I think he went to work for like another shop, like he's working at a speed shop or something. Like went in with somebody else or something.
What a chump. Man, I hear that a lot. I mean, that's another thing. I was just talking to one of my other buddies. He started a kind of construction company about the same time I quit my job to kind of do this creative stuff. He quit his job. And one of the things he runs into, it's like you make a lot of money when you're doing what he does, like on his own. Like he's doing like $90,000 months of revenue at about a 33% margin. So, it's pretty good money.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people that do that. But then he knows all these guys that work for companies that used to do that. And he's like, what's the deal? And they're like, I just got tired of the hustle, man. It's like, it's easier just to like go back and work for somebody.
That's it.
It's like, maybe I'll get to that point, 5-6 years. I don't know. But like my goal is to not.
Yeah.
My goal is to become the company that can allow other people to work for me,
Yeah. Because there's two ways to look at that, right? There's you bust hump for long enough to become the owner of a company that you don't have to run anymore. You've hired good people.
Or you can just run it and not do the work, right?
You just run it and not do the work. You have as much involvement as you want, but you've got a good team that you've built up, and the thing is autonomous. It'll run by itself.
Yeah.
So you either have to work hard enough to get to that point, to kind of work yourself out of the stressful part.
Yeah.
Or you have to be okay with being the guy that just goes, like, there's a comfort in being the 9 to 5. Like, no, man, I'm okay with the work. I'll just go do it. 9 to 5, 40 hours a week.
Shut it off. Yeah.
I'll just shut it off at day's end. And
versus just like going 10, 15, 20 hours a day indefinitely. And that's when the guys tire out and go back to work.
Yep. I've considered it, like with all this, with my stuff that I try to do for myself. I've considered just going back to work for Midway.
Yeah.
Here in town. I'll just go work out. I'll go work out at the warehouse. I mean, I've got my real estate gig.
You're not going to go work for Midway. If you decide to quit what you're doing, you're going to work for me. I'll let you be Mr. Disgruntled Employee.
I don't know. That would I kind of dig our friendship. I don't know if that might be a bad thing.
Yeah. Joel's told me time and time again that he would not be a good employee. He's like, you don't want to hire me, man.
No, because here's the deal with that is that, and it's okay. We're talking about creative stuff. So as a creative, a lot of creatives are more, you have administrative type of personality types that are typically a certain way. And I don't want to get into the weeds in psychology. I actually went to school for psychology for a couple of years, so I can get into the weeds on that. I don't want to do that.
That could be fun.
So you've got the type of people that are certain personality types that are hard chargers, workers, type A. They care about the task more than the person. That's a general way to say it. I'm on the other side. I'm the creative, the feeler. I'm the person that cares about the relationship more than the task. Like I will never betray a friend or like a loyalty or something like that in order to get the task done. And if I feel any kind of conflict coming in between a relationship that I value, for the sake of a task or money or some goal, I'll back out immediately. I'm gone because the relationship is way more valuable to me. And so that's like, I'll never do business with family. I'll never like loan money to family. Like if family needs money, I give it with no strings attached because I'm like, nope, we're not going to do that thing. Like the relationship's way more important.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing. Like, working.
So what you're saying is you'll come work for me for free.
See, you're a good
race to the bottom.
You're a good businessman. Yeah. I see how you worked that. That was good. Well played. Yeah. No, not doing it for free, but I'm also just not doing it.
Yeah.
Like that. I just think it would be bad for a friendship. I would go work at Midway part-time. I'd go work in the warehouse. I'd put in 4 to 6 hours a day in the warehouse.
Just to kind of like chill and
I get some
have
exercise.
something to do.
I get an employee discount.
Yeah.
I can make that work. I got real estate on the side over here, so I can do it.
Yeah. That's one of the things I've been learning a lot about, as I'm starting to think more critically about finances and planning and stuff like that. It's like, I've been reading what's that book called? It's right here. I can't ever remember the name of books. Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Love it. Great book.
I'm like to the point where I think he's going to start telling me about what assets are and how to buy them and stuff. So far, he's just told me that I need to buy assets. I'm like, but what do I buy?
The bottom line,
I just got to figure all that out.
I feel like the bottom line of that book is you have to find a way creatively to make your money work for you.
Yeah.
To where you do no work, the money does all the work.
Yeah.
Real estate's one of those.
Yeah.
Real estate's one of those. And I think he says as much in that book.
Yeah.
But real estate's a decent gig. But the problem with a lot of that stuff is it's almost like one of those things where you got to have money to make money.
Yeah.
So some guys, if you can do it right, you can take out an initial loan as long as you can obviously make the payment, or what you're buying will make the payment for you.
Yeah.
You can take out an initial loan. Let's say you buy a single family home for $100,000, right? You can take out a loan, and you charge enough rent to make the payment.
Yep.
And enough to where you could potentially cover getting a loan on a second place.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And then you just kind of keep that pattern going. And before long, you've got all of your places paying for all the places. And it's not so much about a total dollar amount that you're making per month. It's all just this liquid income that comes in that you have this cash flow that doesn't stop necessarily. You know what I mean? And it only grows as long as you keep expanding it, but you use the properties to buy more properties.
Yeah.
And in the end, you're not doing much work. You know what I mean? And once you start getting enough properties where you can't really do the work yourself, or you don't want to, you hire a company to manage it all for you. Yeah. And you just sit back and
let it all snowball. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So, I mean, hopefully, and I mean, that's real estate. And I mean, another way to do it is to own businesses. And you kind of do the same thing with businesses, right? You buy businesses that are bringing you in a profit. Kind of similar story, but just, you're doing it with businesses rather than rental properties, and kind of how all that works. Sam Sutter sent us a cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be good to kind of look at that.
Read through it. Yep.
What did Greg say about his business? His business was always going to be busting, but yeah. Detailed performance stuff isn't really, eventually the business will run itself. Yeah. No room time. Yep. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, so I just read a book. It was like 10 Pillars of Building Wealth or something, and kind of the moral of his story was, start a business, and then your number one task is to clone yourself as fast as you can.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I need to do with where I'm at right now. But then at the same time, it's just scary, because it's like, if I hire someone and then all of a sudden some of the client work goes away, it's like, well, then what,
Yeah.
So some of that fear comes into play of just like, will I continue to be able to support that employee? Because, you're taking on their livelihood, and it's like, but then at the same time, you can't grow when I'm doing all the work. I don't have time to go get more work or say yes to the work that's already coming in, so.
Yep. Yeah, it's one of those things. It's kind of a gamble. It could be kind of a gamble. That's another thing where it's like you get to a point like that where you're like, okay, I need to be able to keep this employee paid for 2 years. So you take out a loan, if possible, if you have a way to pay that, and you think as a kind of a go-getter, a hard charger, looking to really add business to to your portfolio or whatever, like you could take a loan out and, kind of fully fund paying that person's salary for 2 years.
Yeah.
Just be like, look, be upfront with them. Be like, man, you're good for 2 years. I've got you paid for 2 years. Don't worry about job security here, but I need to be over here really pounding the pavement and trying to get these gigs. You know what I mean? And then that frees you up. It's like, and then it's on you, of course, being the hard charger, to kind of like go out and get those contracts and make sure that not only can you pay that guy, pay that loan back, for your employee, but exceed it, obviously.
Yeah.
And that's one of those things, again, it's just like sometimes you got to take that leap in business and just gamble it. And it's a tough thing to do.
Yeah.
It's a tough thing to do.
Yeah, because right now the amount of work that I'm doing, would be enough to pay me and an employee.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, do you take that risk of like having the work that you're doing be the thing that's paying the guy versus like having enough to know that you can pay him for a year with all of your jobs drying up?
Right. Yeah.
I mean, the last thing you want to do is bring somebody on and then have to lay them off after 3 or 4 months, and they quit their job to come take a risk to come join your small business, because there's no guys that I have this huge full functioning company right now,
That's right,
it's just me. And I'm like, hey, you're going to come work for me. We're going to be in my basement for a little while. It's a cool basement, but like, it's still my basement.
You're old enough to remember Jerry Maguire, aren't you, the movie?
I never saw that one.
No, I'm an old guy. I guess I'm dating myself now.
I mean, certainly aware of it, but
yeah.
Tom Cruise, right?
Yeah. Left his, high-end sports consulting job working for somebody else to start his own gig or whatever. It's kind of one of those things. It's like, all right, I'm just going to do it. This is what I know is right for me. I'm going to step out. I'm going to take the leap. I'm going to do it. I have no idea how I'm going to make money, but like, it's just, I feel like
what I'm doing.
I feel like it comes down to that, right? Yeah. Like if you want freedom from working for the man, then you kind of got to take those risks sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, certainly I'm incredibly grateful for the, the job opportunities that I've had up to this point. I've worked for some really cool companies, Bard was huge, huge medical device company, but I still got to work with some really awesome people, on my small teams. And, Silencer Co. was awesome. Same story there, like worked with some really awesome people, worked on really cool projects. And then same thing at Gunworks, a smaller team, got to work on long range rifle systems and design silencers again. And I mean, all those cool things. But at the end of the day, like all those extra hours you put in and long nights and overnighters and extra effort, like at the end of the day, like it just helps the owners of Silencer Co. and Gunworks and shareholders of Bard win.
Yeah.
And like, meanwhile, my family is like missing their dad and missing their husband and none of that extra stuff. It's like at the end of the year, oh, here's a $500 bonus.
Yep.
But I worked like an extra 100 hours over what is normal.
Yeah.
Whereas like now, if I work an extra 100 hours, like that's going in my pocket.
Yep.
So there's just like there's more risk, but there's more reward.
Yeah, that's true.
And I don't know. It's like that carrot's pretty nice sometimes, just like, go get it, dude.
Yeah.
Get on it,
So. Again, this is, we could talk about kind of the competitor mindset. Like you're a competitor. You like to go compete. You want to win.
Yeah.
I could care less about winning. Do you know what I mean? Like, so you would do that, like the risk versus the reward, the stress of it, the going after the big deals, like you're money motivated, all that kind of stuff. I'm not. Like I could literally sell my house, move back into a small apartment with my family and work at Walmart if I thought it was kind of the least amount of stress, just the most efficiency for my family, or it was a particular place that I wanted to live or an area or something like that. Like I have no pride in that. Like I could easily give it up. If I had to make a better choice, you know what I mean? Or to make what I felt like was just a better choice overall for my family. And I think you would probably too. When it came to push comes to shove, you would make that choice too. But
Yeah, I mean, really, like what I'm doing, it's not really about. It is about the money, but it's not about the money. It's about the freedom and the free time. Like I was working remote for Gunworks, and I was busting my butt. It was like all Christmas break, I like went to Arizona and like didn't see my family the whole time, and I was just kind of like, why am I doing this? Like, so what I'm doing now, it's like I can work here and there, or I can wait till everybody goes to bed and I can bust out another 4 hours of work. So I can take that break in the middle of the day when my kid's home and my wife wants to hang out, and like we can go do stuff, So it's like for me, it's like it's a money thing, but then it's like a time thing and a freedom thing, really. Like more than anything, it's like I want to be there for my family, but then at the same time, like I want to be able to give more people an opportunity to kind of get out of that rigorous like corporate thing and give some other people some freedom to kind of work the way I do and get some stuff done, So
Yep.
As it grows, I'm sure you'll have to build a little bit more structure into it. You can't just have a bunch of people like doing whatever they feel like all the time.
Right. That's right.
Maybe you can. If you get the right people, you probably can do that. But
it's another model. I've read some other books on leadership models that are kind of like that, where you really spend a lot of time. You put a good amount of effort into hiring skill sets, personalities that jive, but also skill sets to where you're so confident in what these people know how to do. And it takes a strategist. It takes a person that goes, okay, I've got this guy, and this guy, and this girl, and everybody's got a specific skill set. And this works well here, this works, and all these things work together. And if I hire them and literally just turn it loose, it'll just run. Like it'll just go, because these pieces are so perfectly fit. And that's a leadership model where you don't really have to do anything midstream, unless it's like,
you just come in and steer it a little bit here and there.
Steer it a little bit. Yeah. Otherwise, you're just letting your people do what they're trained to do.
Yeah.
You don't lord
like
it over them.
Opposite of micromanaging.
Yeah. The complete opposite of micromanaging. Yeah. Let people do what they're trained to do with hardly any input.
And then pretty much all you're doing is helping them see your vision.
Yep.
And then letting them execute your vision.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's it. I work well under that. It's like, give me the parameters.
Yeah. And let me go.
Then turn me loose.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. There was a guy's named Franklin Covey. What's his book called?
7 Habits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All that 7 Habits stuff.
Yeah.
One of the things he was one of the chapters, he was talking about stewardship, and like he was going to turn over the lawn care to one of his little kids or something. And he's like, rather than telling them how to mow the lawn and how to pull the weeds and how to do this and that, he's like, here's what I want as the outcome. He's like, I want my yard green and clean. Now, what does green mean? And he like makes the kid repeat like what green means, right? It's the lawns mowed and the bushes and the weeds and all that. And what does clean mean? No toys, and he kind of goes over what the outcome is. And he's like, okay, it's on you. And then the kid goes and does that or doesn't do it. But then instead of coming in and being like, hey, you didn't do this and that, he's like, is this green and clean? And the kid's like, no. He's like, okay, it needs to be green and clean.
Yep.
And then the kid goes and does it. But it's just like
guide. Yeah.
I really like that strategy of kind of leadership. And long term, that's kind of the role I envision myself taking on right now. I'm doing a lot of work in the business, but in the future, I imagine myself being more of, working on the business and with the business. So, helping my people feel valued, obviously, because they're super valued, but like making them know that. And then, just helping them develop and being able to explore things that they're excited about and keeping that engagement there. And making sure that ultimately you want your people to stay, because like turnover is a huge problem, So
yeah, for sure.
There's so many things that go into it, and I'm kind of learning it all trial by fire, but it's like super fun.
Yeah. It's good stuff. And you're in a good place right now. I think you got a good gig.
Good gig.
It's pretty fun. It's neat stuff.
Yeah. Yep. Dude, we did a good job today, man. We streamed for like 4 hours.
4 hours. I'm tired.
Kind of tired
It
too.
is.
We're both pretty introverted.
Yeah.
I
It's a
don't know.
lot of talking.
I'm kind of like
Yeah.
weird because I like used to be really extroverted, but like deep down, I think I've always kind of been introverted. So
yeah,
for me to sit down and talk this much, it's like
tiring.
It's a lot.
It's tiring.
I like it though. It's
It's
fun.
good. I like talking to you this much. I don't have a problem talking to people that I like this much. You know, you put me around a large group of, I don't know, like just make me go to some business party or something where I have to like
really have stuff in common.
all
with the
this
people,
small
maybe.
talk.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh gosh, just shoot me, man. This sucks.
I think I'm with you there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know that I feel like drained. Yeah, if this was just like 4 hours of me like having a chit chat with a bunch of strangers, like
Forget that crap. Mm-mm.
I'll do it if I have to. I'll probably have to. But like, yeah, sitting here talking to you and talking to you guys, whoever
It's
you
like-
are.
it's like-
I mean, I know,
it's like Greg and
know,
Sam.
I know, I don't even know Sam really, but I know Greg.
Mm-hmm.
But like, talking to the camera and kind of doing this, I really enjoy this. It's pretty fun.
You would know Sam if you saw if I took you
Does
to
he come
him.
to matches?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, you would recognize him. I'm pretty sure. Good dude.
It'd be fun if like, I don't know. I mean, I guess people, at least on Facebook, like Facebook, I can click their names when they comment, but I like know everybody on Facebook because
Yeah.
it's my Facebook profile.
Yeah.
But YouTube, it's like more anonymous.
Yep.
And Twitch, it's just Twitch, man. I don't know how to grow Twitch. I have no idea.
I've got a program.
I got a sub today.
Did you?
Yeah, I was designing a 223 cartridge in CAD.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm just gonna fire up the stream. It's like I had my camera off to the side. I was streaming my screen.
Yeah.
And like me, and I was just kind of like talking about what I was doing.
Yeah.
And I wasn't even paying attention to this other screen because I had like the Sammy page pulled up.
Yeah.
So that I could look at dimensions. So it was covering up the stream page. And when I like closed that down, I saw that I had like 5 comments from some dude. And he's like, "This is so cool. I don't even know what you're talking about. This is so cool." And like he totally like subscribed to me while I was just like sitting there doing CAD.
That's awesome.
It's like, I don't know how people like find your stream on Twitch.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because like I don't even think I had a title. Like it was like the first time I was trying to stream directly from OBS.
Yeah. I just wish,
like
gosh,
a crapshoot.
Dang it, I wish my internet. So, okay, I got to tell you this and then we can be done.
Okay.
All right, you know my internet saga,
Yeah.
right? I've got Mediacom. The fastest that I can purchase is about 17 megabytes download and less than 1 upload.
Megabyte or megabit?
Okay, explain the difference. I'm not really a computer nerd.
So there's 8 megabits in a megabyte.
Okay.
And generally when they sell you internet, because most people think megabytes, right?
Yes.
Like, a song is roughly 3.5
Yeah.
megabytes.
Yeah.
And I think we know what megabytes mean. But when they sell you internet, they sell it to you in megabits. So
is that
when
right?
you hear
Okay.
people like, I have a gig internet.
Yeah.
Well, it's a gig of megabits. So you got to take 1,000 divided by 8. And that's how many megabytes per second you have.
Okay.
So like I have 1,000 megabits internet, but it's still whatever that is.
Okay.
125 megabytes.
Okay. So I have 17
You probably have 17
megabits and less than 1
megabit
upload.
Yeah.
It takes hours
Yeah.
for a 4-minute video to upload to YouTube. Okay, so let's set the context with that. And then, so I had a couple options, right? So my next door neighbor, we live out in the country, 6 houses, everybody's got 10 acres. It's like a little community outside of town. There's no good internet out there. It is what it is. The next door neighbor, there's like 3 or 4 doctors. There's like 2 families living in there because one guy is handicapped and his buddy and wife moved in with him to help take care of him.
Okay.
So there's like this whole thing. Anyway, they're like surgeons. They got money.
Yeah.
Right. He does telehealth stuff from home. He needs fast internet.
Yeah.
Come COVID because he had to stay home all the time and he was doing all this stuff.
Yeah.
He paid to bring fiber in from like a half mile away, all the way down the road out there, the highway, down our road, and to the end of his driveway. Well, they put a box in at the
Uh-huh.
end of all of our driveways because they're like, well, I'm pretty sure everybody else is going to want this fiber internet,
Uh-huh.
which we all do.
Yeah.
Well, so dude paid $55,000 to bring that fiber into our neighborhood.
Wow.
And all he said was, would just love it if you guys could all kick in a little something. You don't have to. I mean, honestly, there's no contracts. We're not doing any of that. But if you want to kick in some money to help me pay for this, that'd be great. And we all said, yep, that'd be great. We don't have a problem doing that.
Uh-huh. I remember all this up to this point so far.
So we are
I'm
now
imagining it taking a turn for the worse, though.
We're probably 6 or 8 months into the process of trying to get Mediacom to understand that we now have fiber set up at the end of our driveway. And all we need them to do is come out and take it from the end of our driveway to the house and hook it up.
Uh-huh.
That's all we need. But we call the residential side because we live in
Who put fiber in? Was it not Mediacom?
It was Mediacom.
It was?
Yeah, they came out. They put business fiber into the dude's house so he could run his telehealth
And
business.
it's working for him?
Works great. No
Okay.
issues whatsoever.
Okay.
He's a happy man. He paid $56,000, but he's
It
happy.
was just write off, so whatever.
But he's happy, right?
Yeah.
Okay. We called residential and said, we've got fiber at the end of our driveway. Send a tech out. We want to get hooked up. We want to give you money. And little girl behind the computer,
Uh-huh.
no, I'm sorry. We don't have fiber in your area. We're like, yes, we
I
do.
can see it. It's
I
right
can
there.
see it. It's right there. Shall I take a picture for you?
Uh-huh.
So we've gone round and round with residential side
Uh-huh.
who insists we do not have fiber in our area.
I wonder if they're like two separate business
They
segments. Yeah.
So finally, I was like, fine, you know what? Precision Rifle Network is going to pay for a business line. It's like $500 a month.
Really?
And I was like, I'm going to do it because I want the fast internet. Like,
Yeah.
I don't care what it takes. I want this.
Yeah.
So I said to my wife, because I will get pissed and like murder somebody through the phone if I get on there. So I said to Rachel, I said, you got to do this for me. So she calls them. She calls the business side.
Uh-huh.
And at first was like, the lady behind the computer. And
Let's get some little sound
that's right.
effects.
I'm going to mess
Ready?
something up.
Ready?
There's the sound effects. So you can see, yeah. And I don't know who she is or what she is or any of it, but she looks up now. We're talking business side,
Yeah.
business internet. And she says, I'm showing that your address is a residential address. Like, yes, it is. She's like, well, we can't put business fiber in a residential home. And not only is that just dumb and wrong, because people have home businesses all the time.
Here we are in my home business.
We said, so Rachel says to her, can you see the house right next to us? Here's the address. Has the lady pull it up. And my wife goes, what does that guy have? Business fiber. Okay. So you understand that he's right next to us. He's got business fiber. All I want is to give you $500 a month for business fiber. Why can't you do this for us?
Yeah.
And so here we sit, dude. Like, we can't get the business fiber because we got idiots who think you can't.
What?
I'm not making this up.
I don't think you could make this
That's
up.
what I'm saying. And then you got residential who swears we don't have fiber in our neighborhood. Starlink. Elon Musk has got Starlink coming to the area sometime in July, we think, maybe.
And what's that? Just like satellite internet?
It's low Earth orbit satellite.
Mm-hmm.
So it's much more reliable. It's way faster than old school satellite.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's ridiculous.
Meanwhile, neighbor is, had paid $55,000 and wanted everybody to chip in, but nobody's chipped in because we're like, well, I'm sorry, dude, but we can't get internet. I'm not giving you money for something I can't get.
Yeah. Well, who'd he call?
Well, he just talked to the business side of things, but he's actually called them on our behalf trying to get them, just trying to tell them, hey, look, I'm the one that brought it into the neighborhood. You can see that on your systems, right? Yes. Okay. I just, how come my neighbors can't get residential fiber? Well, we show that there's no fiber to their house. Well, like, yeah, there's no fiber to the house. You haven't ran it yet, but it's at the end of the driveway. We just need you to come hook it up. No, there's no fiber to that address.
Oh my God.
Because it's just somebody sitting behind a computer screen.
Looking at the same screen that you can look at to see if there's fiber in your area.
Yeah. It's so maddening.
Okay, so
I know that was a long story, but
let's go look at this really quick. It's funny because we've made two things that we've talked about today are 100% what I've made LinkedIn posts about.
Greg says he drove to Cedar Fork with you and talked for probably 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah, never talked to him before that. We just texted. I needed somebody to take me to a match. I didn't know where to go.
Yeah, that's good.
And I knew that Greg Canoyer was the cool guy on Instagram. So I was like, I'm going to message that dude.
Yeah.
Get in with the cool kids.
Heck yeah.
Then I almost beat him in a match.
You got in with the good.
Or did I beat him in the match? I can't remember.
Yeah. Sam says, well, there's a meme in there somewhere. Yes, there is, Sam.
Here it is. LinkedIn post. Dude, LinkedIn makes it so hard to find your own posts.
And why do you want me to go in to do this? Look, it just looks like another Facebook.
I'm doing it for you. You don't have to worry about it. Want it. Okay. TLDR. If it is broken, here, I'll put this up on the big screen. Oh, it's not very big. Whatever. Never mind. I don't even know how to do it from Streamlabs. If it's broken, even just a little bit, stop and fix it. Identify your customers' pain points and remove them. Save yourself time and money. Make everybody happy. So this was a story about Amazon. So I ordered something for Joel. It was expensive. And I intended to use my business card so I could write it off. I didn't. I used my personal card.
Okay.
So it gets here, and I'm like, whatever, doing my finances one day, and I check my personal card. I'm like, why is that bill so much money? And I click on it. I'm like, oh, we used the wrong card on Amazon. So open up the Amazon chat. I'm like, hey, I used the wrong card on my thing. Can I switch that? Can you run the payment again? And then when it clears, cancel it, whatever. And he's like, no, we can't do it once it's been delivered.
What does that make any difference? It makes no difference.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, well, I bought this on Prime and it's free returns. So can I return that other one and I'll just buy a new one for free on Prime and you can re-deliver it and then restock the old one and I'll just do that one on the right card. And he's like, yes, that's your best option. Would you like me to process that return for you? And print, he did it all for me. All I had to do was click print, slap a label on it, waited for the new one to get here, slap that return label on it and shipped it back. So, Amazon's a huge company, right? But minimum, it's 2-day shipping. So minimum, it probably costs them $10, about $5 to $10 to ship it each way. So that's at least $20 just in shipping, plus half an hour of dude. He's in India probably, but half an hour of his time, plus the logistics to restock it, plus potentially they're just going to take it and throw it away into one of those crates that they turn around and sell bulk to people who don't know what are in them, right?
Right, yeah.
So Amazon minimum is probably out $30, maximum $1,530 on this transaction. Meanwhile, I'm not mad, but not happy, right? Because that's a hassle. I didn't want to have to do that. That's annoying. And it's just identify processes in your company that are annoying people.
Yeah.
Or in your, as for me, figure out where in my process I'm either losing clients or scaring them away or not delivering what they need, figuring out what that is, and then freaking stopping that crap.
Right.
Fix what you're doing that's scaring people away or not making people happy.
I wonder what kind of bulk they have to get. How often or at what level, how many people have to write in, call in, email, whatever, and say the exact same thing that you just said for them to like actually pay attention and make a change.
Because
otherwise
Amazon's
it's just
so big.
you know,
I bet a similar thing to what happened today with me happens at least 1,000 times a day with Amazon. At least.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not that exact situation, but something like that where somebody's returning something and exchanging it unnecessarily 1,000 times a day.
Yeah.
If not 10,000 times a day.
Like Sam said, Amazon makes so much money, they probably just don't care. I mean, it's when you're dealing in the billions,
but it's
what
like
is your $20 or $30?
If every 100 customers costs you, I know.
I don't know. But that's just it.
Yeah,
Maybe
I mean, certainly, like, yeah, they don't care. But it's just like, oh my gosh. If that was my company and I realized that like that sort of thing was happening and I was losing $20,000 a day because of it, it's like,
yeah. Well, it's like
I'd rather not do that.
I always wondered about that, like with the credit card companies. You know, you get a fraudulent charge on your credit card. Somebody got $300 worth of something from Amazon. I didn't buy it. And the credit card company's like, okay, you didn't buy it. You didn't use your card. You're like, no, I was in Nebraska. Look, the thing came from California.
Yeah.
You know, that sort of thing. And the credit card company goes, okay, we'll just remove that from your account. Done. That's it. Like,
it's better than getting robbed, right?
Yeah. No, I know. I'm just saying, like, the credit card company then is out that money.
Yeah.
And how often does that happen? And they don't care. They
it's like Greg. He said it's just a write-off.
Yeah, it's a write-off.
I mean, certainly, like you're losing money on that, but you're losing 30% less of that money.
Yeah,
because of taxes and write-offs and stuff. But it's just like,
that's crazy.
Yeah, you just get to a point where it's like time is money and convenience is money, and like recently, I just had a fraudulent charge from Grubhub. Don't even have Grubhub. Certainly not on my business account.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, come on, seriously? So it's like, I know my card's compromised, so I have to go through the rigmarole of like getting a new card. Yep. It's like, it was a $10 charge. I was like, it's literally not even worth my time to try to fight to spend 20 minutes with my credit card company to try to get that taken off.
Right.
So it's like, whatever. I just categorized it as a food expense.
Yep.
Got a new credit card number. Yep. Like I didn't even fight the charge.
Bought that guy lunch.
Now, if it would have been a $500 charge, I'm gonna go fight it. You know, but
your time
like $10. I'm just like, what a pain. And then I have to change my credit card on 50 different things that I have auto pay set up on. But
I do that with like with Amazon items. If it's a low dollar item, like less than $10
that you want to return, and
it shows up and it's the wrong item or something like that. Yeah, I won't even return it. I'm like, it'll cost me more in gas money to drive over to the post office and drop it off in my time or whatever it is. I'm like, just forget it. Like I screwed up. It cost me $10. I didn't screw up. Somebody at the warehouse screwed up. You know.
Yeah. Okay, we've been jabbing for a long time. Sam says, I work for company X and we got stuff stolen daily and it totaled like...
Is that $1 million or $100,000? I can't see. I think it's $100,000.
How many here? And they took it's not worth it to spend the money to get people to not steal. Wow.
Or is that $1 million? Yeah,
I can't remember. You got to type that one. That one I can't highlight it.
I need the commas.
And when I go over it, I got it over here too. Okay. This one will let me highlight it. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, hundreds of thousands
per year. Okay.
Yeah.
And it's not worth it to spend the money to get people not to steal. Yeah. That's crazy.
You know, I think these big corporations, you know, that there's some value in it, right? They post somebody up front to greet you when you walk in the door that reduces the likelihood that somebody steals stuff. And, you know, there's some level of effort they put into it to make you not do it. But then until it becomes a big enough problem, they don't really do anything about it.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's nuts.
World's weird.
It is weird.
Seems like the only people that get screwed are the people that follow the rules. Gun laws.
Facts.
People that follow the rules are the ones that get screwed.
Yep.
Stealing stuff. People that don't steal stuff are the ones who are paying for everything we buy instead of just stealing it. You know, it's just like...
Definitely feels that way, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The good guy, we're over here obeying all the
It's like, I want a new
Vandals.
car.
Yeah.
What do you and I think about when we want a new car? Well, let's go buy a new car.
Yeah.
What does a crook think? Well, I'm going to go test drive a Ford Raptor, drive into the back of a semi-truck during my test drive, and drive off with it. It's like apparently like big dealerships lose like 4 or 5 vehicles that way every month.
Do they really?
And it's just like, whatever.
I didn't realize
People
that.
test drive them, and they drive them into the back of a semi-trailer, and they drive off with the car. They pull the chips out of it, or they like insulate the semi-truck so the GPS goes out when they drive into it, and they just disappear. They chop them up.
The heck?
It's like a thing that like they don't want you to know about, but one of my buddies is a lawyer for them, and like, yeah. It's just like, dude, the world is a crooked place, and the
It's
more
nuts,
you
man.
learn about all the crooked people, the more you learn about how we're getting screwed for being honest.
Yeah, we are, man. We get it from both sides. You get it from the crooks stealing from you. You get it from the government. The government, who's supposed to be the good guys, stealing from you in the form of taxes.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Oh my gosh, we're hosed.
All right, we better wrap this one up. It's
Yeah.
Joel's. Oh, it is pretty late tonight. It's 12:30.
It's late.
You
for
got
me.
grumpy about 11:50 last time, and you're like, I gotta go home.
Yeah,
You lasted a long time tonight. It's because you didn't drink the Monster.
I didn't, because I ate like crap today,
Mm.
and I was like, I don't need the one extra little bit of carbs and sugar that's gonna
Yeah.
make me feel like crap.
That's
So
good.
I had homemade strawberry pie today.
Mm.
I also had like some pop today. And
Nice.
I didn't eat well. So I know that if I would have had the Monster, it would have not been good.
Yeah.
I'd have had to use your bidet. Diarrhea?
Dude, they work good, man. I'm telling you.
I don't.
Okay, so here's the question. So we've got like 5-6 people watching. I'm just curious. Is it all just Greg and Sam? I guess you're one of them, so that should only be 3. Curious what the other ones are. I wonder if it's the other kind of windows that I've got open here. I'm gonna shut them down. Twitch is just shut down. Shut the Facebook down. See if that drops down to lower than 5.
Mine says 4, which would be
4 on YouTube.
me and you and Rex.
I'm not
or-
watching YouTube anywhere.
And Sam
Oh,
and,
I am, I guess,
and
right here.
Greg. Yeah.
So
So
that's just the 2 of them.
I
And
think
you
it's
and me.
I think it's Sam and Greg and me
Yeah.
and you. Yeah.
Greg's got it.
TV
Appreciate it, Greg. You got us. You got us
Hey.
double timed. Nice. All right, we're gonna peace out, guys. Appreciate you both for being here.
Yep.
It's been a fun night. It'll be fun to see how many more views this all gets in the next little bit.
Yep.
Certainly, your stuff gets a lot more reach than my stuff does, but whatever.
It's just been around longer. That's
We'll
all.
get there.
You'll get there. Yeah. Right
All
on.
right.
Thank you, guys.
Catch y'all later. See if we can figure out how to shut it down.
There we go.